everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1493 of our daily content grind. So, it is Monday. It is time for a news roundup. This is probably late because it has been a very busy, exhausting Monday. But hey, we are here. Now, I will admit, it's a thin news week because so much of it was dominated by New York Comic Con. We're going to overlook a little bit of that again, just for some of the people that might have missed out the actual Comic-Con video, but not too much. Not too much. I don't want to be too repetitive here, but we're going to touch on a few official images so we can get some good looks at what was on the store, the show floor. Now we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame. Now the Transformer Hall of Fame has, Jesus, it's gone downhill. It's just like it's a footnote during a panel when it used to be its own huge thing and they made it like an award show thing. It's kind of embarrassing, but you know what? I'm glad they are still doing it. But this Hall of Fame was really just pick 3 of your favorite toys and we're inducting a human of our choice. They did not induct any legacy characters or anything like that this year. So this was all fan vote. So for Age of the Primes, our favorite toy was Megatronus the Fallen. No surprise. Everyone loved that toy. Onyx Prime came in second, which is kind of surprising because Onyx was pretty new at the time. And then Skybite came in third. Good on Skybite. Honorable mention Star Optimus Prime. I think that's fair because Star Optimus was, I don't know, for me, not really worth the price point. It really just kind of feels like a big Transformer. It doesn't have like that extra level of playability I want out of a Titan. Studio Series winner was 86 Megatron. No surprise there. Second place, Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. And yeah, actually, yeah, having messed with that toy now, yeah, that's actually a really good toy. And third was Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime, another really, really good toy. Honorable mention to 86 Long Haul and Hook. I don't really see them. I wouldn't put them as an honorable mention personally. I think people are just excited that Constructicons were a thing. Because I'll be honest, I didn't feel like that box on its own was worth $90. I feel like it was worth it if you take in the price of the Constructicons altogether in general, but not as an individual piece. And then for the exclusives of the year, the winner for the favorite exclusive was the new Cybertron Sideways. Good pick. Good pick. Weird to think Cybertron Sideways now a Hall of Famer, technically. Timelines, Hearts of Steel Optimus and Starscream was second. Part of me kind of prefers the Bumblebee Megatron set, but I think that's because of the novelty of a Megatron cannon. The Bumblebee was a little bit rougher than Optimus, so that's fair. That's fair. And then third was Retro Cardback G1 Sea Spray, which just recently got cited in the US. So like that's another one that's weird. Weirder was the honorable mention being in the Armada Nemesis Prime. That wasn't out at all when this vote happened. And then Ron Friedman was rightfully given the human inductee for the year. It is still weird to me that they didn't do any like fictional characters. There's so many like G1 legacy characters that they usually inducted in the Hall of Fame every year, and we just didn't have it this time. Now, let's get into some stock photos really quick. We're not going to spend too much time talking about them, but here's Wind Charger. And now you can see that magnetic effect that they threw in as a little bit of added playability because he is a little bit simpler than some of the other figures in the deluxe scales. I love that they kept the weird proportions of that original toy. I love that it still has that huge rear tire that makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, you can see in package, he is a little bit smaller than your standard deluxes. So it's good to at least see they're like, at least shrinking those mini bots down a little bit. Honestly, like, it's still weird to me that mini bots have deluxes in the first place. There's Thundercracker looking great. You can see like he has like not a completely closed mouth in this one. He actually does have some expression to him, which is good to see. My boy, Thundercracker, getting some love, getting some attention. He's the first one out of the gates. They screwed up the packaging art because it's not showing Thundercracker. It's showing Skywarp. Granted, you'd be hard-pressed to find a shot of Thundercracker in the 86 movie where he's not destroyed and floating in space. Yeah, we've talked about him. This is still brilliant. This is still a brilliant piece. This is the stuff we've kind of gone over. So we can move on from here. Now, we are still going to look at stock photos, but now we're going to take a look at Takara's, because they take their own photos and have very different presentations to them. So we have Quintus Prime, and I'm sorry, like I'm staring at Quintus Prime, and like everything in me just screams Botanica retool. And I think that's a universal at this point. Now, you can see those little tendrils that extend beyond his skirt. Those are his feet pointed down. He does have actual legs underneath that skirt. So he does have full posability and playability as a Transformer, though it does make this look a little bit less interesting, because really it seems like his transformation is just raising his arms over his head. I'm hoping it's a little bit more complicated than he seems, but right now it seems to be fairly simple. There you can see the legs. They're all in translucent plastic, which obviously makes me nervous. Does look good. You can see the Ember Stone in his hand tendril thing. Yeah, looking much like it did in Earthspark, except, yellow now. And it can ride inside of him like it's a little passenger. Oh, that's adorable. Blast Off looking pretty good as well. They did the forehead eye thing like the animation did, and that's funny to me. It's so funny to me because it's just slavishly cartoon accurate. It doesn't look right, but hey, I pretend it's a Naruto headband or something, and his eyes just happen to be silver. The combiners are getting away with having these tiny little hands just because of how their transformations work, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. He definitely, I said it before, he definitely looks a lot better than he did in Combiner Wars. Okay, Sure Shot as well. Super bright colors here. Looking very, very nice. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on these because we've looked at all these toys before. It's just a nice way to getting like another example of how they turn out. I'm so excited for Quick Strike. I'm so excited because he looks like he's just a larger version of the original toy with more articulation and no clear plastic. That is the beautiful formula that I like to see. That is my golden formula right there. Yeah, he looks amazing. He looks fun. The only complaint I've ever had about this toy is it looks like his Cobra is a little bit small. But you know what? He's probably self-conscious about the size of his Cobra, so we're not gonna harp on it. We're not gonna pick on him for it or anything. They are getting their own release of Sideways. Cool to see. I think it's just gonna be a general release over there, which appropriate, fine. There's Jalopy. Kind of surprised that Japan is bothering with Jalopy because it's just kind of like a run. It's like an also run. It is a excess figure, kind of just like it's a wave filler of a previous line's gimmick. I mean, he looks good. He looks like if Rodimus was a Junkion, but at least it's, that grease pit, or the axle grease mold, rather. It's the axle grease mold in proper Junkion colors, so you have matching figures now. And then stock photos for Masterpiece Soundwave. We know these. We know this toy very well because it's a very old toy at this point. I do like those little hinges on top having the Decepticon symbols painted in. It's a lot of that's a little detail to get right. And yeah, he looks fine. He does everything the original one did. Ah, this beauty. This beauty. Now, Takara did something interesting with the stock photo. So there's Arachnid on the normal air quote feet that she has. There's the drone mode. I was checking to see if that drone was actually upside down. That drone mode might be upside down. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Hard to tell. But they show this. Oh my god, she can stand on four. She can stand on little four legs, four little arachnid legs. That's creepy. That's creepy, and that's kind of awesome. Now I want this toy more than I did before, and I already wanted this toy a lot. Still needed to be bigger. There's their take on Wind Charger. I mean, their take. It's the exact same toy, but hey, more photos on upcoming figure. At least they demonstrate that the magnetic effect can also be plugged into the front. That's nice of them to do. I believe that is it. Yes, it is. Okay, so at New York Comic Con, they also revealed the Skybound Optimus Prime. It's an 86 Optimus Prime retool with a brand new Megatron arm and a brand new head to be more accurate to how he looks in the comic book. During New York Comic Con, this was just kind of weirdly leaked online, but afterwards they did include the figure in their display so we can see what the actual toy looks like. And I'm gonna be real here, like, it looks a little bit disappointing. I'm glad they put him in that pose where he first appears with the Megatron arm, but it does look a little bit disappointing considering like there's no real battle damage on the deco whatsoever. Skybound designs are known for looking beat up all the time. So the fact that he looks very, very clean, he just has a Megatron arm, is a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. Now, I believe we have actual stock photos of this too, because otherwise we're just looking at A6 Prime and his new arm. Yes, your new arm is special. Hi, Prime. You can tell they did a lot. They did everything you wanted them to with it. You know, it's articulated fingers because, you know, it's 86 Prime, so, you know, they didn't cheap out or anything. You can tell they didn't cheap out in any way, shape, or form. We'll get to that in a minute. There's the vehicle. I'll stop on a clear look at the vehicle mode for you. It is cool that it does work. You know, it's not just a cosmetic thing. You know, this is not cosmetic, by the way. This is hard built into the toy. You cannot swap out like the normal arm without a way of getting rid of pins, I assume. There we go. Now we get into actual stock photos. Does come with his normal rifle as well. Yep. See, like that shot alone, I think is a mistake because it absolutely highlights the problem in the deco of this toy, where you see the Autobot symbol isn't even the right color, where it should be black or like very dark red. Instead, it's silver. That alone shows like an error on the toy. But also, yeah, it just doesn't look right without the scuff and the battle damage on it. Like, he needed to have, at the very least, paint some cracks on the window, paint some scuff on the midsection, just like weather him, right? And I say that he needs that because this is a Pulse exclusive item that Hasbro is asking $80 for. Now, that is because they had to do a completely new tool and completely new plastic colors to get that Megatron arm on there. But still, $20 more for a figure, consider if this is a leader class toy, if this is coming out as a leader class toy, as we all know it's going to eventually, and even at the $60 price point, it will be next year, an extra $20 just for a different arm. This is a frustrating one. This is frustrating. Like, I understand where the price is coming from, but it doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it good. So, yeah, pay up if you want the nice exclusives now, I guess. On something that's a little bit more calming, there's a brand new episode of Cyber World out, and it's a fun episode. It is the main crew of Autobots splitting up to seek out Energon separately and making a competition out of it, which is fun to watch. It's not a bad episode. It continues just being a nice little like, oh yeah, that exists. I need to go turn that on. 5 minutes later, okay, I'm a little bit happier. The episodes haven't been bad. They're for kids, but, they're nice, simple, digestible. We don't normally do comic book stuff because, well, we review the comic books, once we have 2 issues to talk about at a time. But also, it's a lot of spoiler stuff that comes out. And I know people want to be as clean about spoilers as possible. So we don't normally talk about like, oh, here's the new covers for Skybound. Here's like the page previews. We don't do that here on News Roundup. But they did do a little bit more than normal when it came to New York Comic Con release stuff. So we've got covers for issue 26 and 27, and we have internal art for issue 27. And it's all in like the early stages. So like nothing is like fully colored. So if you want a very large preview, that is out there. I will tell you that it is out there, but we are not going to go into it here. All I will say is it will show the next Autobot is coming back online, which is cool. Jada Toys apparently did a whole remote control Bumblebee with transforming effects that is now just out on shelves. This is one of those toys where like Jada will not like fully reveal these Transformer toys when they come out when they're doing them. Stop pushing the heads down, you idiots. Stop pushing the heads down, you idiots. But you know, this one came out of nowhere. I mean, it's a licensed Camaro, and it's transforming into a more normal style Bumblebee, more much closer to G1 because this is going for the evergreen design. These are cute. These are inoffensive, little like simple Transformer toys. You know, nothing egregious about these at all. If you go through like mall kiosks to see like knockoff Transformers that do that, it's very similar to them, but done in higher quality. It's weird to me that like Jada is currently producing like one of the best 6-inch action figure lines I've ever had with their Street Fighters, and the ones and then they turn around and also do like silly little gimmicky stuff like this. It's an interesting toy line, interesting toy company. Yellow Park has showed off actual in-hand shots of their AMK Pro Transformers 1, Optimus and Megatron, and they are looking phenomenal. They are exceptionally screen accurate, shiny, glossy, very, very pretty. Yeah, these are the ones that come with all the parts to swap between D16 and Megatron and Orion Pax and Optimus Prime. So you can see, you know, the younger and the older version of the characters. You can see the yellow eyes on D16, so he is not corrupted yet. And then you have the dark red eyes on Megatron, where he's just gone full on with the idea of like being nice and playing, you know, wanting peace. Nope. We're in it now. Yeah, very, very cool set. Very cool set. Not sure if I'm actually going to cover these on the channel or not. I've got so much Transformer 1 stuff at this point. Like I feel like everything from that movie is like redundant at this point. On the other side, Blokees revealed their next Galaxy version Defender Wave, and this is the smaller ones, by the way. So we got the brothers Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, looking very, very nice. We have Jetfire, which in both head styles, that's kind of cool to see. Galvatron, very, very nice. There's another shot of Sunstreaker all on his own. There's Sideswipe all on his own. You know, who remembers the Jet Judo scene from the G1 cartoon? Okay, that's actually cool to see that referenced. That was Divide and Conquer, by the way, because I'm that kind of geek. There we have Galvatron along with their Scourge. Actually, it seems like a normal sweep because Scourge is supposed to have the full goatee going, not just the soul patch. And then Cyclonus down below. You know, there's a Shattered Glass Jetfire. Reflector. Which I believe this is Viewfinder because it's the one with the belly. But I'm happy to see that Reflector's getting a little bit of attention. Reflector does not get any attention whatsoever. Makes me happy when he does. There's Cyclonus. I just noticed those two have the same rifle. Shattered Glass, geez, I mean, I'm exhausted. Shattered Glass Soundwave. And I'm actually surprised. Like, good on Blokees. They really could have just repainted their design. No, they added the headband. Like, it's sculpted in. And then the smaller ones, remember, the ones that have the vehicle designs as well, which is a Jetfire in vehicle mode. Cool to see. We're getting Roller in the trailer, so you can complete your Optimus Prime. There is the prerequisite required Optimus Prime in the wave. It is clear this time. We have Onslaught in vehicle mode, and we have wow, my brain blanked. Swindle in vehicle mode. So yeah, Combaticon is going to be your next combiner to work on. These are also the ones that have the extra armor for the chase versions. So there is your chase of Galvatron with a lot of extra effect parts and a new sword. I believe Jetfire also gets one of those. Yeah, so he's got an extra sword and a lot of missile pods. So not really like special armor like they did an Optimus that actually had like the Cybertron wing pack and guns. No, this one is just, yeah, you're just getting extra weapon effects, which, okay, fair enough. I don't feel like I'm missing out if I didn't get the chase. And to wrap it up, we have Mochi Bots that are showing off their Wave 5, and this is a fascinating wave that they have chosen, because we got a little bit of Shattered Glass, and we got a lot of like deep pulls here. So we've got Bug Bite or Shattered Glass Bumblebee, take your pick. That's fun to see, evil Bumblebee. Here's the weird one, G2 Hero Megatron, and I really feel like this is them, because we've explained this before. The way these plushies work is like they have a pattern the same way that that the machine cuts, similar to just how like they would have a mold for a transformer. So to get these done, they want to reuse those patterns as much as they can. So yeah, they're digging deep. They're digging deep. I don't even know, did Japan even get Hero Megatron? It's such a weird pull. And there's a Shattered Glass Shockwave for you, which I wish was an Energon Shock Blast homage. It's just Shockwave with colors inverted. That's all it is. And then a Nemesis Prime, because of course you're gonna have a Nemesis Prime. This is a surprisingly evil wave. This is a surprisingly evil wave because it's mostly shattered. It's a lot of Shattered Glass. It's an evil Optimus. We're counting on Shockwave to be the only good guy in this entire wave. We have acrylic charms too that include the new ones, as well as a few favorites from their previous releases, even referencing the BotCon story of G1 Cliffjumper ending up in the Shattered Glass universe. That's kind of amazing. That's kind of amazing. It's so weird. It's so weird. And they're doing buttons too. Just one little buttons of the characters, and I don't know what. This is obviously done through AmiAmi. Yeah, like there's definitely something to this. The translation is being lost on. But that said, that's what I have for you this week. That is everything in the world of Transformers that I could cover that wasn't New York Comic Con. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.